Obama lost almost 9 million votes, 2008 to 2012. He got barely over 50% of the popular vote. And he goes on and on about this mandate to fundamentally transform America. Just listen to the language of this man. It's alien to our society. It's alien to our politics. And yet you can see how it has an allure to some 59 million people. You can see how other societies have collapsed and been taken in by it. Socialist societies, communist societies, national socialist societies. This is the language of tyranny. You don't hear Obama talking about individuals. For instance, the top 2%. Who are they? Well, they make this much money. No. I didn't ask you how much they make. Who are they? Who are these people? Why are they in the top 2%? Is it because they provide us with something that we need? Those of you, I'm in the top 2%. But those of you who aren't, these people must provide something. They didn't all inherit it. Some product, some service, some idea. So the system rewards them. Not some evil force. You reward them with your spending habits. Somebody invents something. Somebody's contributing something. Who knows? Obama became a multimillionaire. He's worth about $10 million because you decided, many of you, to buy his books. You bought his books. Was that corrupt? No. Then we get the line, he doesn't need the money. Oh, they don't need this money. Now, he might not need the money, but if you're running a business, you may need the money. You may have 500 employees. So if you're in the top 2%, that means nothing. It means nothing if you're in the top 2% because you're reinvesting your money. They create these images, these false images of people sitting on cash in their mattresses with plenty of money just to do whatever they want to do. But they never take us to the little business. The little business that's competing with foreign companies and big companies that may be grossing $2 or $3 million a year. And the taxes may be paid as individual income taxes. That guy's suddenly a millionaire and billionaire? Why? We have an extremely complicated economy, and people are even more complicated than our economy. You've got billions and trillions of transactions going on. He just wants you to think the top 2% are rich, trust fund babies, sitting around. They don't need that money. Well, if they need that money to stay in business, if they need that money to continue with their employees, of course they need that money. If they need that money to modernize their plant, or to put it in research and development? Yes, we want them to have that money. And what is Obama going to do with the money? Give it to Solyndra? Give it to his corporate crony friends? Spread the wealth around to people who haven't earned it? Middle class. If you think you're in the middle class, don't you realize you're getting screwed? People are being laid off. People are losing their pensions. They're losing their health care. All in the pursuit of this paradise that Obama talks about. It's more important to him that you hate that 2%. You don't even know who they are. But it's more important that you hate them, that you're jealous of them, that you have fury against them. Because as Alinsky taught Obama, that's what you want. Anger and fury. You know, have your targets. Facts don't matter. None of that matters. And of course, look what we've got. An Alinskyite president following the Marxist agenda. Here's an example of what Obama said today over and over and over again, and I'm only going to play it once. But take my word, he said it over and over and over again. Cut 15, go.
I'm less concerned about red lines per se. What I'm concerned about is not finding ourselves in a situation where the wealthy aren't paying more or aren't paying as much as they should. Middle-class families, one way or another, are making up the difference. That's the kind of status quo that has been going on here too long, and that's exactly what I argued against during
I can't take it. So what this guy did, what this Alinsky did, is he drove up the debt massively, almost $6 trillion. That stimulus bill had nothing to do with stimulus, and we talked about this before. It's in the baseline every year hereafter, almost $1 trillion. On top of that, they increase spending 10, 12, 11%, and in some budgets, like the EPA, even more. So there's this endless, massive growth of government, massive debt. And now he comes back and he says, look, the rich have to pay their fair share. They got to help us with the debt. The man drives up the debt, massively expands government, and then says, well, we got to fix this. And how do we do it? Let me put it to you folks in the non-communist terms. He wants to take hundreds of billions of dollars out of the private sector to fund the government. He says he wants to take, and this is his starting point, $1.6 trillion out of the hands of the private sector. And the private sector is what hires and employs most people in this country and creates wealth in this country, not Obama. $1.6 trillion over 10 years out of the private sector and give it to the government. In addition to the every year almost $1 trillion in that stimulus bill that just goes on each year, in addition to the increases across the budgets, the non-existent budgets, but the budgets for the different departments every single year. We're going to collapse. We won't have to worry about the rich. We don't have to worry about the middle class. There'll be no class because there'll be no wealth. And he's able to create this fog around all of this because you have these moronic journalists asking moronic questions. And the nature of this press conference with this president is to talk on and on and on with your propaganda points, so it's never really a press conference. There were 10 questions asked in an hour or so. 10 questions. And yet, half of the country or more is going to be focused on, yeah, get that top 2%. That top 2% may invent a drug that helps your mother. I don't care. Go get them. You bring down the people who create things in this country, the productive people, you bring down everybody. There have to be people who raise the capital to make investments, who risk everything and create employment. That's how you create employment. That's how you create wealth and opportunity. People raising capital, investing it, reinvesting it, taking risks, expanding. And Obama says, whoa. You've got too much money. That's not fair. We, the government, will figure out what to do with it. And then to make matters even worse, it will have zero impact on the debt. Zero. I'll give you an example. He talks about the top 2%. He wants $1.6 trillion in taxes, right? Do you know the deficit this fiscal year, which started on October 1st, is likely to be $1.6 trillion? Do you realize he's already spent the taxes he intends to raise and raise over a 10-year period? He's draining this country from both ends. The massive deficit spending and the massive tax increase that he seeks. And rather than trying to reform what's in the middle government, he's expanding massively the government. Obamacare, just to name one. This is insane. But he says he won the presidency, so he won a mandate. A man that got almost 9 million votes less than last time, barely got 50% of the vote. He got a mandate, he says, to destroy our economy even further? No, I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, to the extent we can, wherever we can, we fight this man tooth and nail. We do everything we can to obstruct him, to divert him, and may I say, to sabotage his agenda. We need to take a few pages out of Alinsky's books and fight the man. I'm not kidding. What did I call this the other day, Mr. Producer? We need to be patriotic scoundrels. Patriotic scoundrels. They're scoundrels.